Welcome to our final lesson. I hope you've enjoyed learning about money so far. Today's lesson we will cover credit and how to build good credit and learning the difference between a good debt and a bad debt. Remind me again, what is interest? Interest is money paid regularly at a particular rate. What is credit? Credit is the ability of a customer to obtain goods or services before payment based on the trust that the payment will be paid in the future. In essence, your adult reputation. Why is credit important? Credit is as important as a letter grade in school. How many of you would love to buy your very own house or car someday in the future? Your credit can determine whether or not this is an option for you. Are there limitations to how much credit you can use? Yes, this is what's called a credit limit, or the maximum amount of credit you are lent. So, how do you build credit? The most common way is through credit card or gas card. What's the difference between a debit card and a credit card? Remember, a debit card is linked to your bank account, so it's money that you already have, whereas a credit card is like a small loan in which you have to pay back. Paying off your credit card reflects positively on credit. When applying for a credit card, there are some key questions you must ask yourself. What would be a good reason to have a credit card? It might be good for you to have a credit card to easily buy necessities and help build up your credit score by making on-time payments. When should you use a credit card, and why should you use one? Like I said before, you should use one to help build credit, but it should only be used for items or things that you know you can repay back on time. When do you need an intervention? When you don't have the money in your account to pay off your credit card, or when your expenses outweigh your income. When making a purchase, it's important to ask yourself, why are you there? How do you feel? And do you really need it? As silly as it sounds, it can protect your credit long term. Let's take a look at the cost of credit just to familiarize ourselves with how credit cards work. Let's say you purchase something with your credit card that cost you $50. Now let's imagine that your credit card has an 18% interest rate. That means you will owe $59 at the end of the month. What if you don't have enough money to pay back the $59? Your credit card company may suggest what is called the minimum payment, which is the monthly payment at minimum you must pay in order to stay in good standing. Using the same amount of $50 and the minimum payment of $25, there will be a $34 remaining balance. However, if you choose not to pay the credit card at all, you may have an additional late fee added, which would then be added to your balance. But do you know what the problem is when it comes to minimum monthly payment? The problem is that if you get into the habit of only paying off the minimum monthly payment and not the principal, you may find yourself taking many months to several years to pay off that amount, and it will cost you a lot more money in the long run. Let's look at another example. Let's just say you use that $50 for pizza, clothes, the movies, and whatever else. You have to ask yourself, do you really want to be paying off a $10 pizza 6 to 12 months down the road? So like I mentioned before, credit is measured almost like a grading system. The higher your credit score, the better off you'll be, because your credit score is your adult reputation. If I know nothing else about you, I could look at your credit report to see how responsible you are financially as a borrower, which is important if I'm a credible financial institution and you're asking me to borrow money for something, such as your future home, right? So how can you build good debt and avoid building bad debt? It's simple. Keep your debts low. Well, what is debt? A debt is something, typically money, that is owed or due. What is the difference between a good debt or a bad debt? Let's think about that. What is something that you are willing to become indebted for that may be viewed as a need? A car, home, and even your education. In talking about good debt and bad debt, how many of you would like a car or a house of your own someday? Does anyone know what you would need to protect your car or home someday? Insurance. What is insurance? Insurance is a way to protect you against risk. What types of insurance do you know about? There's home, auto, and health insurance. Great job! Why is insurance important? Insurance is important because it protects you, your assets, and at times others against mayhem. What can insurance cover? Insurance can cover anything from liability to medical. There's a wide range of insurance and almost anything can be insured. When it comes to risk, there are 4 ways to handle it. You can avoid it, accept it, reduce it, and share it. You can avoid it by choosing not to buy a home or drive a car, but is that realistic? No. So instead you can choose to accept it. But you can reduce your risk by having insurance and by knowing that risk is shared or transferred amongst you and others. So how does credit relate to insurance? Your credit score can affect your premium costs or the amount you pay for your insurance. What else do you have to protect yourself from? Identity theft is the act of your identity being stolen or compromised. So what happens if you become a victim of identity theft? Ultimately, it will affect your credit or your adult reputation. Since we live in a digital world, it's important to guard your digital footprint as well, from online purchases to social networking sites. There are a few steps you can take if you fall victim to this sort of fraud. The first is to notify your credit institutions. The second is to file a local police report. You also want to notify the 3 bureaus of credit, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. They are in charge of documenting your credit. Lastly, you want to file a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission, or the FTC. They are in charge of handling identity theft claims. So you see, avoiding credit pitfalls has as much to do with debt as it does protecting yourself and your valuables. I have a short video clip that again outlines how easily it is to fall victim to pitfall credit.
Aisha, I have great news!
Ooh, what is it?
Okay, well, you remember a few weeks ago when we applied for credit cards?
Yes?
I've been approved! Mine arrives this week!
Congratulations, that's great news! Oh, when did you...
I have to go. It's here.
Oh, you wouldn't believe the day I've had. Let's go shopping and I'll tell you all about it.
Wait, what's that paper you're holding?
Oh, it's just a boring old letter from your bank.
Is that my cardholder agreement?
Nom nom nom.
What?
I'm hungry. Let's grab some lunch.
But shouldn't I read that cardholder agreement?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things you should do. Reading paperwork is boring. Eating lunch is fun.
Okay.
And then I'll have the lobster with lobster sauce and extra lobster on top. Oh, and a side order of lobster.
Credit card? I can't afford all of this.
Oh, don't worry about that. Lunch is on me.
Wow. Thanks. Wow, credit card. That was great. Thanks for lunch.
Yeah, don't mention it anytime, you know. Nom 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 nom.
What?
I'm hungry again.
But we just ate.
I'm hungry for shopping now. Nom nom nom.
Oh, I can't go shopping. I promised Aisha we'd study together today.
Nom nom nom.
Whoa!
I mean, come on! Studying is boring. Shopping will be fun. Think of all the nice things we can buy together. You and me. Best friends forever. Inseparable. Together always.
Okay. Let's go shopping! Credit card? Credit card? Our bill is here. It's time to pay. Credit card? Are you there?
Credit cards can be a convenient way to pay for things and can help you build a good credit rating. Your credit rating is what banks and some companies look at when deciding whether or not to lend you money or credit. But it's important to understand how your credit card works and how much it costs. Credit cards can also allow you to get into more debt than you can handle. And if you make late payments, they can also damage your credit rating. To find out more about how credit cards work, visit the People's Law School online.
And the best part is, he thinks we're friends!
Mine shoved me into the ATM and took a cash advance. Do you know how much that costs? Interest plus fees, baby.
Oh yeah? Mine took me shopping all weekend. And I'm a department store card, don't you know? My interest rates are among the highest in Canada.
Ooh.
Remember to look at the big picture. This can affect your entire lifestyle.